What up, y'all? Joe breezing to his ass. Hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody's kicking it straight. Tonight I got the lovely Monica, one and only Monica Rawlings, as a guest. She's going to be coming on here just shortly, and I will introduce, and we're going to go from there. And there's no particular topic. We're just going to actually hang out. So I digress. I'm bringing on the one and only lovely Monica Rawlings. Hello, Monica.
Hello. How are you?
Hello. I am good. Hello. Hello.
I always think of the
Jackie?
Cream. Remember?
Yeah, whipped cream face. Yeah.
So
I can think of.
Huh?
Nothing. I could think of so many parodies you could do with that. People.
Yeah. I always think of Doubtfire, and I think of Medea. Hello.
Hello. Oh, what was the other one? It was an Eddie Murphy movie where he played what's that?
I was saying hi to Jackie. Oh, she's in chat.
No, Norbit. Hello. Yeah.
Your kids are Bigfoot, Gus. They have Bigfoot.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. So how you been? How's it? I know we were on PRT Friday night, but how's your weekend treat you, and how's everything going?
It treated me as well as July in Texas is going to treat anybody. It's hot. It's miserable. I wish it was in the PNW along the coast where it's generally not hot and miserable. That's where I want to be.
You're way up north, so I have no sympathy.
Yeah, I can only imagine it's worse. I mean, I lived in Houston. Well, not in Houston. I worked in Houston. I lived in, it was like halfway between Livingston and that other hick town that's like over off, like I forget the name of it.
Like Arlington or?
No, this is East Texas, like deep East Texas.
East. Oh, yeah. Okay. I think I know. I think I know. Starts with a B.
Dang it. Anyway, I lived like deep in the big thicket, and there is no breeze there, and it was so frustrating because had 3 acres, it was wooded, and I could hear the breeze up in the trees. But did that come down to where I was? No, I felt like I was swimming at ground level. Yeah. No breeze.
Yeah, it's in the canopy. Yeah, it's in the canopy, but not on.
It's rude, is what it is. It's like teasing your hair.
Oh, look at all this beautiful
here, 50 feet up. Too bad. Won't reach the ground.
Piss off, you bloody wank.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah. So anyway, my weekend treated me, like I said, about as well as July in Texas is going to treat anybody. I try to work in the yard, and I'm either, staving off heat stroke or mosquitoes or both. And that's just a joy, no matter how you roll that.
Right. Dude, it's weird. We haven't gotten mosquitoes here at all this whole time.
Really?
I mean, usually it's like, and so the way the land, not because I live out in the country, so the way the land works is it kind of has like a lower dip down, and it becomes a swamp, like every time it rains, and especially when the hurricane rains came through and everything, I was like, man, it's going to be, because that's right where my front gate is. And so if you go out there, it looks literally like a cloud almost, because there's so many mosquitoes. Because they live in that little pondish, swampish area. But
right.
And I'm like, I'm dreading it. I'm like, here it goes. And nothing. I haven't even been bit by a mosquito,
I'm jealous.
Yet.
I have to fight them off, carry me behind a bush and beat me up if I let them. They're bad. They're bad. I put those sticks out. Forget. I saw some TikTok and I read some like gardening websites where they're like, oh no, you got to get these sticks. I forget the name of them. Sounds like some sort of explosive, but they you fill them with water and you put them out like every so far around your property, and it's supposed to keep the mosquitoes away. Nah, I put them out too late. You're supposed to put them out before it gets warm.
I heard this. I forget what it is, but she's like she lives in pretty much travels and lives in her RV, or no, it's a bus that's converted into like a tiny house.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that she tried everything in the world, but what you do is you take like a little spray bottle and put vanilla extract in it, and then put water in the rest, and it's better than off.
I don't believe that. I believe you're just flavoring yourself for them. This one's vanilla flavored.
Just put some barbecue sauce on it and
rub
go
a
out there and be like,
on me.
Be like, oh, wolves won't want me as long as I put barbecue sauce all over me.
Oh my God. Yeah. So how was your weekend? Did you wake up in any strange cabins behind gas stations this week?
Not this time. Not this time. It was close, but no cigar. No, I actually so my weekends, I get off early on Sunday. Well, early 7 o'clock in the evening on Sundays, and then so Mondays and Tuesdays are my Saturday and Sunday. So I went on PRT on the Rumble last night, just out of shits and giggles. I was like in the chat, and Josh was like, "Hey, come on, man!" And I was like, "All right, I'll jump on." And then got off of there hella late, and then, man, I had almost half a bottle of, and I'm not talking like a small bottle. So like, these are what me and Jen drink. So I went like half a bottle.
Wow.
Until like 4 a.m.
Dude, and I was just sitting. I'm too old.
I was just sitting there watching YouTube, and I watched some horror flick. And I guess it's new. I didn't figure out what year it was made, but it was a John Carpenter movie called The Ward. And it's basically about, what's that?
I don't think I've heard of that one.
I didn't either. I was cruising, just navigating Netflix or Peacock or whatever. And but it's actually pretty good. It's about this chick that ended up sent to this old school like 1950 style psych ward, and it's haunted. And so, and I thought about it, and I was like, that's a really good concept, because if you're in a psych ward that's haunted, and you start going, hey, no, someone came in my room, or I saw someone, then you sound crazy as shit. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, so you're just digging your own hole, going, no, this fucking place is haunted.
Yeah, right. So I was like, sure it is, Mr. Jones.
Sure.
Just take the pills, it'll be okay.
Yeah. Just eat your Prozac.
Just keep taking your meds, it'll be all right.
Yeah, but it was actually really good. I mean, I'll go ahead and give the twist out. It had a M. Night Shyamalan style twist on it. What it was is, so this chick goes into the psych ward. There's like 5 other chicks there, and then there's the ghost that kills all the chicks, as the movie goes through.
Sure.
And what it really is the ghost was the original girl that got sent in there, and she has multiple personality disorder. And so through treatment, they're killing off each one of her personalities to bring her out. And yeah, it was like, okay, so until she's the last one, and then the treatment worked,
Okay, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty dope. Yeah.
That when you talk about institutions, and even though this doesn't necessarily take place in an institution, it reminds me In the Mouth of Madness. Have you seen that?
Oh, one of my favorite.
Madness.
Yeah.
It's got such, I mean, Lovecraftian ties to it, right? And
Very
how it
much
you don't know if it really happened, if it's all in
in the
his mind.
know.
Yeah, it's a great
Yeah.
movie. I really love that movie.
What up,
And I'm trying to
Bristol?
remember, that's
Yeah,
Clive Barker, right? Was that Clive Barker?
that's Clive Barker. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Clive
Have you
Barker.
read his books of blood? Man, those are tough to
No, I
read.
have not.
Dude,
I
you
have
want
not.
those are hardcore horror stories. Yeah, you got to read the books of
Sweet.
blood. Yeah.
I'll check it out. I'll check it out. Right now, I'm reading. It's called the Zombie Road, and there's a section of it. It's three books. There's like 12 fucking books altogether, but there's
All right.
three of them called the Feral Children, and it's about these kids that they were visiting a zoo. They're like orphan bus kind of a thing, visiting the zoo, going on a field trip. And when the zombie outbreak happens, they get, not necessarily trapped, but they forticate the zoo to be their own spot. And so, like, eventually, as time goes on, they learn how to farm and blah, blah, blah. And they take
Mhm.
care of the animals. So, and they learn how to defend themselves. So, like, one kid's got like this big war hammer and he rides a bear. The other kid's got
Pretty
like a
cool.
spear. Yeah, and he rides like a Black Panther that runs by his side. And the other chick, she's a Native American. She throws tomahawks and has a wolf pack. So it's like, yeah, it's pretty
Okay.
dope. Yeah. But yeah,
All
the
right.
Feral Children, check it out if you get a chance. And it's a
Yeah.
good. They got it on. It's on YouTube also. So if you're like bored at work, you can just throw it on and listen to the audio.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I listen to Audible a lot because of my commute. Because I commute just a little over an hour each way to work. So I'm always looking for stuff to listen to. And I just downloaded a new book called Don't Whisper at Night. And it's a compilation of horror stories written by First Nations. And it's really cool.
Cool.
I'm like two or three
Cool. Yeah.
stories in right now. It's awesome.
It's called Don't Whisper at Night.
Yeah. It's really cool. Here,
Sweet.
I'll see if I can pull it up and show it on the screen, the cover of it. Oh, Never Whistle at Night. So
Oh,
that's what it looks like.
gnarly.
It
All right.
is.
I'm
I mean,
down.
the
I'll check
stories
it out.
I've heard so far, awesome. And I always support indigenous,
Oh, yeah. Well,
artists, everything whenever. Got to support the cousins.
right.
Got to do what you can.
Yeah. It's funny. People don't believe me when I say it, but Jen, like, she's like probably one of the whitest chicks you could ever meet in your life. She's like I think she's like German and French or something, but blonde hair, green eyed, white chick, makes the best fry bread you will ever eat in your life.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
awesome.
like, yeah, make some of that shit.
I love fry bread, man.
Oh,
Shit.
fry bread, shit.
Yeah, man, that's really good.
It is, and I don't care if you're native or not. It's like one of those things. It's like homemade tortillas, same shit. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like,
I love
yeah,
homemade tortillas too. I like the carbs, just all the carbs. Right in there.
give me all the carbs. I'll take them all.
Yeah, I'll take the fry bread. I'll take the tortillas.
Right.
All of it. I'll
But
take
it
the
has
bread.
gluten in it.
I make that.
Yeah.
I make that in tortillas. I haven't made fry bread, but
Really? You gotta check. I'll link you and Jenna. Yeah, I'll link you and Jenna. I mean, she doesn't really do anything that's like mad different, but for some reason, I mean, she just like perfected it. And you kind of got to do like a donut, like in the middle of it. You got to squish it out so it puffs out the edge. Yeah, but it's on point.
Mm.
Yeah.
Can't be any different than beignets. I do make beignets. I love beignets.
What the hell's a beignet?
Like fry bread, but got powdered sugar on it, cut into.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's like a donut.
Ooh.
Because to me, that's what it tastes like. But I mean, it's not as thick as a donut, a beignet. It's a little lighter. It reminds me, it's like a fry bread donut combo, but you put powdered sugar on it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty good. Every time I go to New Orleans, I go to
Oh, is
Cafe
it? Oh,
Beignet.
so
Yeah,
it's a French thing. It's
yeah.
a French thing.
Cafe au lait and a beignet, and yeah, it's really, really good. It's not Cafe Beignet, Cafe Du Monde over in City Park. Yeah, if you get there early enough, there is nobody in that place. I'm giving away my secrets now. Next time I go there early, there's going to be a train. But anyway, yeah, it's worth getting up early because everywhere, the Cafe Du Monde down in the French Quarter. I mean, if you're a tourist, you're waiting in line. The locals sneak in the back door and just sit down when somebody stands up.
Right.
But anyway, it's hard to get into. But the one over in City Park, if you get there before 10 a.m., because that's when the tour buses I find come rolling through. But if you get there early enough, there's no lines, and it's a beautiful place to sit down. And bonus, you have to drive through Cities of the Dead to get to it. If you're coming off the highway, you got to drive through the cemeteries.
Dope.
There's a bonus.
Yeah, actually, I was just because I was killing time watching some YouTube, and I've known about it, but this one dude, he was doing a live from New Orleans about the Jaquez, what's his name? Dang it, right. Of course it's going to slip me right when I'm trying to talk about Jaquez, this Saint Germain. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So they were doing the contact or the connection between the original Count Saint Germain and the one in New Orleans, which was apparently the vampire dude. Yeah. And then it got into and then they got into the casket girls or whatever.
Girls? Yeah. For the convent, for Ursuline.
Yeah.
Yeah. They think that they were vampires, or they brought the vampires over in their trunks. And the vampires are still a lot of rumors they're still up in the attic at Ursuline Convent.
Yep.
And
see, that's
all kinds of cool stuff there.
That's why I love having you on. You're chock full of that.
And so not so much anymore because it's been really updated, but years ago, Lafitte's bar, right? It says original blacksmith shop. Like it's the oldest building in the French Quarter. And it looks like the oldest building or it did back then. There are a lot of psychic vampires that would hang out in that one.
Psychic vampires?
Yeah, energy vampires.
Yeah, energy vampires. That's what I dig the most. Like, well, I say dig, but that's what I like subscribe to the most is about, because energy is back in the Gap. Blood was life force. You know what I mean? And people weren't really privy to I guess spiritual energy as far as when they discussed it. It came to blood. So, but I believe in the I subscribe to the energy vampires more than anything.
Yeah, and I can see where they'd be drawn there because I mean, if you understand energy, if you're tuned in to the energy around you, there is some crazy energy coming off of New Orleans, just all over the city. It's not just the French Quarter. In fact, the last time I was there, I was like really pulled to the Garden District. The Garden District, for whatever reason, was throwing off some crazy vibes while I was there. And every time I go, it's like a different part of the city that's pulling me with these crazy feelings, I guess. I feel the same thing when I'm coming towards LA. It's like a hum It's the weirdest thing.
The
Like you can
frequency.
feel it before I can see the city. Like, and it's like a pull. It's the craziest thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And see, with my experience with New Orleans was pre-Katrina, you know, because we used to go out there and just party. So yeah, I didn't feel nothing but the whiskey.
it's my
You know,
Vegas. I like Vegas. I love New Orleans. I go to New Orleans and party.
But yeah, so that documentary or whatever got me thinking, and so my brother that passed last August, me and him were always talking about after Anne Rice passed away, we were talking about going to go down there and do the Anne Rice thing, because I guess every year they have like a birthday festival or death birthday festival, and we were talking about going out there, and I saw that today, and I hit up Richard Woody, who does he does like documentaries on, I think I've talked to you about him, maybe not. He does documentaries, yeah, and he also does like that's the dude I was going to go on the ghost hunt with, and I talked to him, and I was like, hey, let's just plan a trip, you know, let's freaking go do it and go hit the hot spots up, get the drones and the cameras out, and you know, go kick it, you know, because he was also
my nose itches.
Like,
sorry.
No, you're good. It's the breezy speakeasy. You can blow. You can like.
No, it just like itches. Like I ate something I'm allergic to.
Are you allergic to much or no?
No,
I'm not allergic to anything.
So I'm allergic to codeine, and which sucks. I'm allergic to barley, of all things. So yeah,
barley. So you can't drink beer?
I can drink beer. It's I can drink beer, but like grain, like the grain itself. If I eat the grain, I can't. I don't get hives, but I start itching like all over. And the same thing when I take codeine, like itching. But it starts at the tip of my nose. That's how I know I have like either the medicine I just took has codeine in it, or I just ate something, you know, that's not right with me.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's actually a common thing, especially with alcohol amongst natives and Asians, and they say it's like from the Mongolian, you know, if you subscribe to the land bridge, because a lot of natives have the Mongolian birthmark, you know, where they have like the big blue piece when they're born, you know, somewhere on their body, like a big blue patch. And they also have that shit where they're like allergic to alcohol, period.
Really?
You know, and they'll start turning they'll get like rosacea and shit.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, they'll start turning red.
Yeah. I mean,
that would suck.
I didn't know that was a native thing. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Apparently it is, you know.
Normal for everybody to turn bright red the first few drinks. Look like a tomato.
Yeah, if that was the case, I'd be red all the time.
Well, I think, you know, when I used to drink more, your body gets used to it. But now, like 3 drinks in, man, I'm tossed. It's terrible. My tolerance is nothing like it used to be. I used to be able to drink. I can't do it anymore. It sucks.
Yeah, I'm a regular drinker, but I'm not one of those dudes. It's weird. Like, I'll put it this way. Unless I'm mixing like tequila, rum, whiskey, beer, you know, multiple, you know, alcohols like that, I don't ever get to where I'm like a stupid drunk. You know what I mean? Like everybody else around me, they'll be like, yeah. And I'm like, look at this fool.
Except for when you wake up in a cabin behind the gas station, not knowing how you got there.
Well, that's because I was drinking. That night I was drinking scotch, rum whiskey, twisted teas, and
dude, how did you not barf?
That's another thing. I don't throw up either.
Man. Like you start mixing stuff like that. Yeah, my stomach's like, everybody out. Everybody out. No more room at the inn. Everybody out.
Yeah, no, I just wake up with wounds that I can't explain. I'm like, where the hell did that come from?
That's the best. Yeah,
why is my leg broke?
Once I fell backwards down the staircase and fractured my pinky. And I woke up the next morning. I didn't know that I fell backwards down the staircase, and the center of my pinky is like swollen up. And I'm like, the hell happened there? My friends were like, your drunk ass fell down the stairs. You don't remember that? I was like, did I seem like I would? I don't.
If you fell backwards downstairs and your pinky was the only thing that got it, you're doing great.
Got a rag doll. That's the key. Just that's how you don't break things.
Oh, it's crazy that you mentioned that rag doll. So, I had this. I was digging through my closet to look for a bolt to put in the back of a TV because my son got a new TV. So I was going to mount it for him. And I came across this box, and I had it for quite a while. And I was like, this would be good for the show. We can pull this out. And it's crazy you mentioned Ragdoll. I wouldn't even have thought of it. But I literally got it next to me.
Is it a big box?
Dude, it's just a cardboard box. This guy was like, a buddy of mine, he was like, hey, man, here, you like weird shit. I thought you'd be interested in this. But these things are freaking weird and creepy as hell.
All right, let's see.
Yeah, we're going to go through them. Yeah, why not? So that's one of them.
Yep.
Yeah, that's got even long native braids and shit.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. It gets deeper.
Progressively weirder.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
Yeah, okay.
All right, let's dig into Breezy's baggage.
The hell?
Whatever it is.
Is it a lobotomized doll? Is it missing the top of its head?
Yeah, it's missing the top of its head. It's completely hollow.
Yeah.
And it has something in it.
All the better to freaking possess you with. All right.
All the better to see you with. Oh, let's try this one. Hang on. Yeah, it's not showing up. That would have been cool though.
You'd have to turn your light out.
Yeah.
You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see Jen open the door behind you in the middle of a broadcast later with a flashlight in that doll and just stick its little lit up head through the doorway.
She might. She said she might jump on in a little bit.
Sweet.
She's like, yeah. Let's see. There's a shit ton of them, but they're fucking weird, dude. Like it has but it has like wings, like so, like
Icarus. Yeah. Anyway, is it an angel? Is it a flying demon god? Who knows?
Right. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, I got one of these here.
Okay, she's not as creepy. She's not too bad.
No,
she looks a little creepy. Asian though.
Did you just assume that dolls?
I just assumed their identity. Sorry.
Yeah. This thing, I don't know what the fuck this is.
What in the hell?
Yeah, and it's got like a stand and shit.
Hold on. Is that like a fruit hat on top of it?
Yeah, it reminds me of like the Chiquita banana chick.
Fruit hat?
Yeah, it's like a Chiquita banana chick or something.
Okay.
But it says something Lambrigada Brazil.
Okay.
on the front on this little tag right here.
Okay, so somebody, went to South America and just collected all of the
Yeah.
ethnicities in doll form. Okay.
Yes. We got.
She's not too bad.
Yeah. Little
I mean, their
native
little
chick.
plain faces are what's creepy.
It is. Yeah. Yeah.
Like the little
My.
the corn husk dolls. Those things are creepy as shit too.
Oh yeah.
They remind me of
Absolutely.
Children of the Corn when they were like cramming husks on everybody.
Yeah. Now my mom had this fucking weird shit where my youngest daughter, she's like 23 now, but used to buy her those freaking creepy ceramic or porcelain freaking dolls.
Right.
But they're like, almost life size, like Chucky.
I had one of them creepy ass dolls.
Nah, I'm good on that shit.
Nope.
All that.
You know what used to creep me out too are those stupid masks from the 80s. Remember those porcelain masks that all the girls had on their walls? That's some creepy shit. I thought it was creepy back then. I think it's creepy now.
Yeah, there's just something about that, man, about dolls like that. Like when he gave me this, I was like, dude, I don't know if I want it. Like I don't know if I want that box. Yeah. There's another one. I got to get used to my reverse camera stuff.
She looks, again, kind of Asian, but okay.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going with you on this one. You're the first person outside of this house to see me. All right. Yeah.
The hell is she holding? What is that?
Her hands. They're just.
What's that black poof? Oh, that's her hair. I thought that was something like
yeah.
on her arm. I got you.
Yeah, it'd be her other braid. And let's see. There's one of them that's
those things gonna stand up in the middle of the night and see.
Right. Yeah.
What is that? What is that Disney World ride? The World United.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. It's like one of the oldest. Yeah.
I almost said We Are the World.
Yeah. No, you're almost right. Yeah. It's a Small World or something.
It's a Small World. They're going to get up and start singing It's a Small World in the middle of the night and frolicking around your studio.
And this one, but why are her eyes closed?
Where are her arms?
Yeah, and she's got a baby on her back.
She's armless and has a baby.
Yeah. Fucking weird, dude. Fucking weird. Let's see. Oh shit, that's crazy. There is. Wow. Oh wait. No.
What?
There's one missing.
Freaking plotting in the background, dude.
Yeah. But no, I'm at the end of it, and there's this one that was like, I took it as like completely racist because it was almost like a.
Maybe Jen hit it. She was like,
I don't know, man. Yeah, that's weird, dude.
Yeah, she's gonna be standing over your bed in the middle of the night. You're gonna wake up like
right.
She's gonna be like,
I'm good on that.
And then run off.
There was like a completely racist African American looking, like it was bad. Like it almost looked like something like, I was like, dude, that's freaking.
I don't.
That's almost counterproductive.
Like, dude, like society. I don't want your grandfather's, Aryan collection of dolls. I'm good.
Right. But she's gone. That's freaking weird. But yeah. But yeah, so that was
maybe tie a string around that box and put it in the attic.
Right. No shit. Fucking creepy ass dolls.
Right? Or we can take it to normal. So I've been thinking about this for a while because I usually take a trip for my birthday. Right. Okay. For my 50th birthday, we went to New Orleans. And then this last year I went out to Napa. But I want to go to New Orleans again. I want to go to New Orleans at least once a year because I love New Orleans. I love everything about New Orleans. And I especially love New Orleans in the winter because you're not sweating your balls off just walking outside of a door. So I think for my birthday this year, I'm going to go to New Orleans, and I mean, anybody who wants to go can come on. Like,
when's your birthday?
January 3rd. Like, I don't expect it to be on my birthday because it's right after New Year, but I usually go like mid-January, early February. But if we go mid-January, it's just the very start of carnival season, right? Building up to Fat Tuesday.
To Mardi Gras.
Yeah. Right, so the mansions in the businesses start really decorating for Mardi Gras. Like, it's so cool. So anybody who wants
to no, that's actually kind of prime. I'll hit Woody up because that would give us enough time to prep, get everything together, take work time off, all that bullshit. But yeah,
I think it'd be fun. I just want to get as many people as I can together, and we'll just have a big old party. Like, if listeners want to come, I'm going to start announcing it, I think, because it's 6 months away and it's going to take some people, a minute to get their stuff together to be able to get out there. And I think that we can all party down in the quarter, or I can give you my drunk ass ghost tour of the quarter. And that's what I coined it. I was taking my friends one year through the different sites, like the Lalaurie Mansion and the Sultan's house, and the site of mass murders. I was telling them, and I was so drunk. Oh, I was so drunk. I was slurring my words, but I'm like, and here is the Sultan's house. And I was telling the story of, the murders and what everybody thought, and, making it creepy. And people on the street were stopping to listen to me like I was giving a ghost, like I was a ghost.
Like you're a ghost touring.
So it's my drunk ass ghost tour.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, like,
no, we can. Yeah, we can do that, and we can even make a show out of it. And
heck yeah,
we could do like a 2-parter where it's Monica doing it, showing us the tours about stuff, and then make the other half us getting fucked up.
The fun part,
The fun part, yeah. A and B reel,
It's not going to take much for me, but I mean, we could. Like, I want to go spend more time in the dungeon because I went there with my girls, right, for my 50th. And I am the only weirdo in this herd. Like, I'm the only one who wants to go to the dungeon. Because the rest of them are... Okay, so the dungeon is a bar in the French Quarter, right? And it's supposedly a vampire bar. You're not allowed to take any kind of picture or any kind of video on the premises. And it's not that the vampire like lives there. He's there a lot, but because he's there, like, they don't allow you to take any kind of photography or anything. That's obviously the rumor. I'm sure it does business well, but it's a really cool bar. And I like just hanging out there and just talking to the locals. It's fun. But my friends were slightly uncomfortable because it's called the dungeon. It's got a dungeon, motif going on in there. There's like, Iron Maidens and shit everywhere.
Cool. That's badass.
Yeah, my sweet, like, very Catholic one friend and my very upper class white other friend, like, were a little uncomfortable there. So I wasn't allowed to spend as much time as I wanted to. So I'll get my peeps together and we'll go hang at the dungeon for a couple of hours.
Oh yeah. Dude,
right?
I am down like 4 flats on a lack.
There you go. And yeah, I mean, it's just super cool. Just hang out with people. And then, I'll go wandering down places probably shouldn't wander. Just don't take shortcuts through the alleys. I swear, like, you walk by the alleys and you see it's like a cartoon where all the eyes light up in the dark. That's what it's like. Don't do that.
Yeah. See, that's the part I remember about being a young cat and going through New Orleans. It's like, but that's also when there was like, there was a huge gang influence, and like I couldn't even wear the normal garb that I wore because colors didn't match. You know,
Oh,
like,
well.
yeah.
You
So,
gotta be careful
you
with
know,
that.
yeah. And I'm like keeping my wallet in my front pocket.
That's smart.
That
Now
kind
that's
of
just
shit.
smart.
Yeah.
And the ladies can just tuck it in the bra. Don't bother. I mean, I mean, I carried my purse and it was fine, but you just got to keep it tight on you, you know.
Right. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, go over to Tremaine or Treme, call it Tremaine. Oh, what is it? Frenchman Street, right?
Okay.
Frenchman Street's
Okay.
pretty cool. And you can walk to the quarter from there. And it's really cool because
Yeah.
you pass through some kind of shady, freaky parts of the quarter on your way in from the jazz epicenter. So it's
Yeah. That
cool.
that that whole spot is, yeah, you kind of got to go through a treacherous spot just to get into the populated spot. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, yeah, you're like,
My
ah,
friends were
we're
all
gonna go.
nervous. I'm standing there staring into the dark, like, what's in there? Am I getting any weird vibes? Let's go.
Yeah, right.
And
Exactly.
it's crazy
Exactly.
because you can go down a lot of the side streets. Bourbon Street, as you know, has
Mm.
always got just 24 hours a day. Like if you stay closer to Canal, I think that's where a lot of
Canal.
people
Yep.
are because when you start going towards, I think it's Esplanade, right? You're getting closer to Frenchman, like the jazz Treme area. Um, it's not quite as populated, but like you go 4 streets north or south, like you go down to Royal or you go Conti or all of those, like the farther away you get from it, the more desolate you feel. Like it's quieter. It's a lot quieter, you know, juxtaposed to Bourbon Street that's just wah! And then you know
You're
four
right.
streets over and it's crickets. You know, it's
Yeah. Yeah.
it's such a crazy vibe in that city though. It's I just love it. I love the quarter. I love the Garden District. Business district's a little interesting. Like I'm not hanging out there, obviously, but
Right.
my
Now,
hotel
Canal,
is there.
Canal and Bourbon, those are I guess, my most experienced parts of it, because we'd go there just, because it's only what I want to say maybe 8 hours, and we just go there and on like a Friday and come
Mhm.
back by Sunday and just party our asses off.
Hell
You know,
yeah.
go eat some freaking alligator and you know have a great time. Yeah. But
Yeah. So my birthday, everybody's invited. Let's go party.
I'm down. I am down.
All
So
right.
yeah, so you'd go like, because you're North Texas, right? You're damn near Oklahoma. You're on the
Yeah, I'm
border.
just, let's call it South Oklahoma. That's where I am. Yeah, I'm
So
right on
you
the Red River.
so you'd take what? You'd go like Dallas and then like 49 out to Houston and then take I-10
Oh,
in.
no. Because I drove last year. Was it? No, the year before last. Was it last? Whenever I turned 50, yeah, Lester. So my friend was in Dallas, so I drove down to Dallas to pick her up, right? And then we just took 20, 30. Hold on, now I'm turned around. 20. Took 20, right? Into Louisiana and then hooked south, kind of southeast from there. I
Okay.
don't remember which highway.
Oh, okay, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, so you came in from the top of Louisiana and went down. I got you.
Yeah, I mean that's
Dude,
the easiest route for us. But when I lived in Houston, now I went 10 straight out.
right. Yeah. Now I'm still wrapping my mind around the fact that you had your 50th. And like, I swear to God, you look like you're like 20 years younger than me. It's crazy.
No way. Are we the same age? Are we close at least to the same age?
You're about 5 years older than me. That's about
Okay.
it. Yeah. I was born
Okay.
in 78. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I was born
But
in
yeah,
73. Well, thank
dude,
you.
that's
That
no,
compliment, dude. I appreciate it.
it wasn't a compliment.
Native
It was
blood,
just
man. It's the native blood.
it wasn't. I didn't mean it as a compliment. It was just an observation.
Oh, well, it was a compliment anyway. Just say,
But
roll with it, bro. Just roll with it.
I'm going with it. Never argue with a woman. So,
Yeah. So yeah,
That's how I
it's like
roll.
we don't age like everyone else. So that's a plus.
What up, Al Gore?
All right.
Yeah. Uh. So okay. So we're gonna like I guess do a sneak preview on because we're gonna do this daily drinking show with the horror movies and stuff, right? We
Yes.
were talking about it.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll do a day drinking show and
It's got to be a day where I
discuss.
can day drink.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I'll probably have to take the day off, so it'll be on the weekend because
Okay.
my schedule is just it screws everybody up. Um, I'm like, dude, it's Monday night. Let's party.
They're
They're
like,
like,
yeah, Monday.
fuck you. It's Monday, motherfucker. I gotta go to work tomorrow. Yeah. But so let's just jump into a little bit of it. Because you're 73, so I mean not 73 years old, but born in 73.
So 73
What
was Texas Chainsaw Massacre, right? Jaws.
that was 74. It was filmed in 73, but released in 74.
Mm-hmm.
But so what was your earliest and what was your most frightening
Oh, okay.
horror
So my
flick that you
earliest
remember?
memory of a horror movie. So my earliest one was probably Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or was it Jaws? It was one or the other. Might have been Jaws. I was a baby. Don't remember it obviously, but my mom took me to it because she's responsible like that.
Oh, so you saw it in the theaters.
Yeah, oh, yeah. It was probably a
Oh,
drive-in, to be
sweet.
honest with you.
Oh yeah, because duh, fucking breezy, you dumbass. There wouldn't be VCRs back then. Yeah.
We were probably in the drive-in with a 10-month-old Monica watching Jaws. Like that sounds about right. Let's see, earliest. So, see, growing up, I really didn't watch a lot of like horror movies, like what most people would think of when you're like, oh, it's a classic one that you just really like, that kind of thing. I remember seeing
Right.
the old black and white ones like on the TV because back then there were like 3 channels to choose from and you watched
Yeah.
whatever the hell they played for you.
Yeah.
And
So
there
like
was,
the Universal monsters.
yeah, like the Wolfman, and which I don't even consider a
Right.
horror movie.
Dracula.
It didn't scare me back then.
Right.
It certainly doesn't scare me now. Creature from the Black Lagoon, those, he's always been my favorite Universal monster.
Nice.
But the most frightening one is going to have to be, it's kind of a toss up between My Bloody Valentine and Chud. And I think Chud's going to win because into my adulthood, I had nightmares about the manhole, like the man covers, like getting moved in front of my house and these things crawling out. And I'm in my 20s having nightmares about a movie I saw, when I was like 10 or 11. Right.
Right.
It scared the shit out of me. And it wasn't just the thought of something coming up from the underground. I think we know the theme here. Like My Bloody Valentine freaked me out, right? Because what was it? Underground. And you don't know where the
Right.
dude's going to pop up from with the pickaxe. And, he knows the mines better than you do. And there's no escaping him. And, that really fucked with my head and scared the shit out of me. Like I think I said when we talked about it last, like, I watched it at my friend's house because my dad wouldn't let me watch horror movies. So I'd have to go to my friend Leela's house to watch them, and her parents didn't give a shit how much they traumatized me. So I was going over there to watch these horror movies, and I was afraid to like go pee. I was afraid to walk down the dark hall to go to the bathroom because I was convinced that the guy with the pickaxe was going to be like waiting for me to like use the bathroom in the middle of the night. And but then Chud also, because I think the scariest part of Chud for me was when preacher goes down like into the basement, right, to show the police detective like the stuff he finds like down there, like how his
Right.
kitchen connects to the underground. And they find that Geiger counter and they turn it on and it just slowly creeps up, right? And then you hear the roar and then it creeps back down. And that just freaked me out. Like that scene freaked me out. All of the scenes where they're wandering around down in the tunnels trying to get out freaked me out. And yeah, so clearly I have a theme of like underground shit freaking me out when I was younger. Probably still freaking me out since I have claustrophobic.
So, kind of a claustrophobic. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
was just gonna say. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, what was that? The Descent. Did you ever watch that one?
So I watched The Descent, and again, yes, the thought of being trapped underground and not knowing which way's out, and these freaking creatures are coming after you scares me. And you know what I love? I love a good like practical effect. Hate CGI. And I am all about the practical monsters. So Descent had practical, Chud had practical. You know, back in the day, it was all practical. Now, man, if I sniff out any kind of CGI, you lost me. It's just, you know.
Yeah, I recently, I can't remember which movie it was, but I watched the old horror flick that I guess back in the day when they were transitioning, I didn't even realize it was CG. Oh no, it was fucking Tremors 2.
Okay.
And yeah, like for I guess for what was it, for Father's Day or something, Jen got me the entire Tremors, like all 8 movies or whatever.
I like Tremors.
And yeah, Tremors, the first one was great, and I mean even 2 is good. But when I was watching it, like my almost 10-year-old, 9-year-old, he like comes across and he's like, dude, that looks so freaking bad. Like you can tell it almost looks like cartoons. And I was like, well, you know, granted, back in the gap, we weren't watching on 65 or 70-inch screens. You know, you're watching on
Like
max, like a 25-inch screen. Yeah. So you didn't notice the shit, and it looked great. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah. And then I kind of started looking at it and like, yeah, fuck, that is fucking bullshit. That looks so
They lost
bad.
me when they started shooting fire out their ass.
Out their asses.
Yeah.
That's what I told them. I was like, wait till the next one.
I can't.
Fucking stupid.
So which one? Okay, so which horror movie traumatized you the most as a kid? Do you think?
Okay, well, immediate traumatization was the first time I ever watched The Exorcist. It didn't last, like the traumatization didn't last long, but immediately, like that night, because my mom and my soon-to-be stepdad, I guess, or whatever, and this is back when we were latchkey kids and shit. I think I was in second grade, and they went out on a date. And they were like, you know, just don't answer the door for anybody and blah, 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 you know, the whole rules. And The Exorcist came on. Okay. And I'm home alone, completely by myself. And yeah, I watched the whole freaking thing. And I swear to God, like I could see her in every window in the house, you know, like, because, you know, yeah, we had like a door that had a little square window that went out to the garage. Didn't have like a shade on it or anything like that. But yeah, I swear, like every time I look over, she'd be peeping in all, you know, with the split pea soup and shit.
Yeah, I can see where that would, especially, you know, if you were raised in a fairly like religious home. I could see where The Exorcist would just be freaky, because The Exorcist never scared me as a kid. I mean, it's got creepy parts. Don't get me wrong. Like it's a creepy movie, you know. And if I hear knocking in my attic, fuck that. You know, but like all in all, I don't think the movie affected me as strongly as it affects some of my other friends, especially, like I said, the ones that were raised in, you know, particularly, not saying that you were, but people that
Right.
were raised in particularly like religious homes, because I was raised like completely without any kind of like
Oh no, I
spiritual
was
guidance as a child.
yeah. No, I was actually went to catechism. I was in, my mom wasn't highly religious. What up, Mickey G?
Hey,
Um
Mickey.
she wasn't particularly religious. I came from a I ain't gonna front. I came from a drug addict family. But, my grandmother on my mom's side, um, she was highly Catholic, so we did all the Catholic stuff. So like when I was watching that movie, I knew everything about it. It was
Right.
just, you know, as far as Catholicism was concerned, and I knew that, you had to get certain bishops and, stuff to what do you call it? Administrate an exorcism and all
Yeah, you
that
have to
shit.
get approval from, yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And so, yeah, it was weird for me, but I'll tell you this, this, this might sound fucked up, and I'm sorry to the audience if this sounds wrong. One of the scariest shits that I ever seen, and it's not even a horror movie. When I was a kid, the movie Mask scared the shit out of me.
It scared a lot of kids because of the deformation that the boy had.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was scary as shit, man. Like I was like, I would literally because it would cycle on on the cable channel when you had to have the cable box and all that. And I'd have my cousin sit there and watch the TV while I hit the channel button. Be like, boop, 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 is it? And he'd always fuck with me and be like, no, this is right, And I was like, dude, don't tell me it's not Mask. He's like, no, man, it's not. Come around, I'm like, sweet Jesus.
Man, yeah. I mean, I remember my friend seeing that, and I remember that it freaked her out too. She was like, what the?
Yeah, no, it was weird for me, man. And then, but like the Elephant Man didn't weird me out, But as I got older, that dude who did the Elephant Man, what's his freaking name?
The one who played the Elephant Man?
No, the director.
Oh, I
he
don't.
did Twin Peaks. David Lynch.
Oh, I didn't know.
David all.
Okay.
Yeah, he did Elephant Man. Yeah, but yeah, his stuff psychologically is very profound as far as I'm concerned. It was yeah. I don't know if you ever got into the Twin Peaks thing or
I did for a brief little while, but then it got a little weird for me. I mean, even for me. Like I think it got confusing and I wasn't paying enough attention to it. I just really liked the guy who played the detective.
Oh yeah.
Kyle
He
MacLachlan.
played he also played dude from the Doors movie. Yeah, he's a great actor, but Kyle MacLachlan, he can like never get out of that Twin Peaks.
Well, I mean, he did Dune,
world.
right? So he played the main character in the original Dune. House Atreides. And yeah, I really liked his look. I just wanted to stare at him. Blue Velvet too. I think he did.
Blue Velvet, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Another movie that I'm sorry, what were you saying?
No, go ahead.
So another movie that isn't, I don't know if they really touted it as a horror movie or not, but Stigmata. Have you seen that?
Stigmata, yeah.
I really like Stigmata. I think that
I'd give it horror genre, yeah.
Kind of horror-ish. I mean, she's possessed by a priest, so I mean, that's not like she's demon possessed. And I just couldn't like fathom how they weren't putting two and two together. I'm like, how do you not know this dude is possessing this woman?
Right. Yeah.
But
the potholes. Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, the message that they were trying to portray, that the church was trying to cover up, is a message that I do believe in, like
You subscribe to it.
wholeheartedly. Is, you know, it would 100%. I don't know that it would take down the Catholic Church, but it would definitely affect all churches, not just the Catholic Church. But, you know,
Right.
basically where Christ is saying, you know, I'm everywhere. You do not have to attend a church to be with me, you know.
Correct.
You know,
Yeah.
turn a stone and I am there, and split a log and you will find me. I'm in nature. I am everywhere, you know.
Exactly.
And I loved that message in the movie. And then, of course, you know, going through stigmata is interesting for that poor girl. Didn't know what the hell was going on.
So let me ask you this, and this is off topic about it, but it intrigued me. So if you came from a non-religious household, you know what I mean? Like, what got you into the discovery of, you know, not just necessarily religion, but the discovery of God himself?
So I was raised in a home. We didn't attend church. My father did not push any specific religion on me. And I don't know if that stemmed because I was raised by my dad. He was a single dad. And I don't know if that is because he had it forced on him. I don't understand his beliefs behind it. He was an atheist or agnostic. I can't remember which is which. I always get them confused. So he believed in a higher power, but he didn't want to label it, right? But he would always tell me, like, I don't want to tell you what to believe. You need to go out and figure it out for yourself. Go, like, I hate to use the word study because it implies that, like, I was reading, like, just text after text, which right. But, you know, go look into the different religions. And I want you, if you even decide to pick one, but you pick it yourself, and you pick it because it stands for what you believe in and not because what I'm telling you to believe in or what your grandparents or anybody else is telling you to believe in. So I did that. You know, but I have friends that are Catholic. I had a boyfriend in high school who was very Catholic, and
So you didn't get none?
No. I think we both know that's not true if it was the boy that was. But he, you know, I mean, at the time, I really did think I was going to marry this kid, right? So I was like, he's really Catholic and I'm not. So I talked one of my friends into, like, starting to go to, like, mass with me because I was, like, trying to plot the way to get into, like, Catholic. I mean, I've been baptized Catholic. I lean to Catholic. But I wasn't raised in the church. I wasn't raised in any church in particular.
Were you baptized at birth, or, you know, like when you're,
I was baptized
voluntarily?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I didn't do it voluntarily. I was baptized at birth.
Gotcha.
And then my parents divorced, and my mother, who would have drugged me to church, like, disappeared. And my father did what he did, but I appreciate him doing that because it allowed me to, like, kind of, you know, look into all the different religions and figure out which one I aligned with most. Right. Which I think is good. And I think that everybody should have that opportunity, you know, because some people are just so ingrained. It's just pounded into their head that this is what you believe and this is what is right and everything else is wrong. And I don't agree with any of that. Like, you've heard me say before, I have a real hard time with organized religion. Like, I have a real hard time with organized religion. I just feel like it's a way to manipulate and control the masses. You know, it's a manipulation game. Because I do believe, I know it's a movie, but I believe in the message, like, that they were given in Stigmata. He is, like, God is everywhere. God is everywhere. You do not have to stand in a church and sing songs and listen to somebody tell you how you're going to hell 10 different ways to be close to God. You know, and your relationship with God is very personal. Yeah, absolutely. It's very personal. My relationship with God is not going to be the same as yours or anybody else's, you know, and I respect that. But not all religions do.
Right.
respect them.
Yeah, you're either this or that. And it's not that fine tuned. You know, like one of the weird things that, because I was raised Catholic-ish, my mom ended up dragging me through dozens of different religions, through my life. So I went everywhere from Catholicism to Methodist to yada yada yada. But what weirded me out was whenever I had my kids baptized at a Catholic church. And so when they do the whole baptismal, they actually take oil and they put the sign of the cross in oil, on the forehead, and then they put the sign of the cross in water from the holy water, right? And I'm sitting there and I'm like thinking about it. I'm like, dude, what repels water? Oil, right? And I'm like, dude, Yeshua, or Jesus for most people, he's baptized in the Jordan River. There wasn't no oil involved in the shit. I'm like, so what the fuck are they actually trying to pull off? And they're repelling the water, you know what I mean?
And they're man, there are so many. If I get real, like digging deep into an organized religion, and I'm not calling any one particular one out, but if I just get really deep into it, I can flip it so in my mind so that religion is Satanism, because the devil's not going to come at you all horns and scary. He's going to come at you looking like paradise. He's going to come at you with all these lies and promises that are not going to be fulfilled, right? He's going to take you down a path that is going to make you hate the people next to you and want to kill the people because they don't think the way you think. Like,
exactly.
And if I get real far down into that rabbit hole, I'm like, organized religion's a fucking devil. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. Because, even Christ talks about it, even in his own time, there weren't a shitload of different religions, as far as, because the world was still kind of new, so you didn't have like Methodist and agnostic and blah blah. You have all these little divisions. You
followed Christ or you didn't.
Right? Yeah, exactly. And to him, it was basically like, oh, are you money changers? Is that all you give a fuck about? Is your money and this kind of shit and capitalists?
Out of the temple,
yeah, fucking A, dude. And you wouldn't believe how many, especially with my people, like gangsters that I used to kick it with, because they're real two-sided about, they're quote unquote believe in God, but they're quick to excommunicate individuals. And it's like, dude, you can't have it both ways. Like,
you can't pick and choose. You don't pick and choose.
No, man. You either,
Yeah. And the Bible in general, I just feel like it's at best a guidebook to not being a dick. Just how to not be an asshole.
Thank you. Absolutely.
I don't think it's your key to get into heaven. I don't personally, I know a lot of people that do, and probably a lot of people don't like what I'm saying, but I just feel like it's not your key to get into heaven. Your key to get into heaven is your personal relationship with God and how you interact in this plane of existence.
How you treat other motherfuckers, man. It's absolutely true. No, you hit the nail on the head as far as I'm concerned. And like I said, this is the Breezy Speakeasy. So if people don't fucking like it, you think,
so living my life these days.
Yeah. But no, it's that's absolutely real about shit. It's whenever Christ was actually in Matthew, when Christ was talking about, he was like sitting there at the table with all the people that weren't living by Jewish law, and they were feeding them foods, and they go, oh, look, there's pork. We can't have pork and all this shit, you know. And he's like, no, dude, what comes out of your mouth is more important than what goes into it. Yeah. You know, I'm not here to refute the laws of Moses, but I'm here to fulfill them, you know, because it really is. It's, you know, you can follow all the laws and still spit foul and hatred towards one another. And that's cool, but you can't eat a freaking piece of bacon.
Right.
Fuck that.
You gotta bacon.
Fuck that. Dude.
Yeah. And, you know, again, with the organized religion, my favorite saying it, because I mean, I've had in-laws and people in my life who are good Christian people, but they are some of the most hate-filled, backstabbing mofos you will ever come across. And I'm, you know, and I'm always like, you know, going to church on Sunday and standing in a church doesn't make you a Christian any more than standing in a garage makes you a Cadillac.
Right. Hey, dude.
Going to church doesn't mean shit.
Yeah, no, it don't, man. And
how are you helping that poor person? How are you like trying to make somebody's life better? How are you treating people that don't have anything to give you in return? You are getting nothing out of it, no recognition, right? You're getting nothing. Are you going to help them? Because I do. Yeah. You do it? No. You know, you'll roll right by them. You run them over before you look at them, most of the people.
Yeah, you know? No, I agree 100. Like, I am 100% on your side. It's because it is. It's the most gossipy ass bullshit you ever seen in your life.
Terrible.
You know, one of my favorite quotes is I can't quote it per se, but it's on Young Guns 2, where they burn down the whorehouse, you know, and the chick's there. She's like, you can keep your little town with your preachers coming in the back door and preaching services on Sunday in the morning. You know? Yeah.
Is that where she rode out of town naked on the donkey?
Yeah, on the horse. Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. I actually met that chick. She's cool as shit. Yeah. I did shots with her, chill and shit. Yeah.
I had such a crush on Kiefer Sutherland back in the day.
Did you? Kiefer?
I like the odd looking guys. I don't know what to say. I like guitar players. Like I don't go for the pretty boy front man. I want that guitar player over there for whatever reason.
I got a bass. I got a bass over there, you know.
I tried to learn to play guitar. My fingers are too fat to fit on the fret. So I don't know. It's some slim fingered mofos playing guitar, I guess, because I can't, like, I couldn't do scales. My fingers are too fat, apparently.
Yeah, guitar's a pain in the ass, man. I love it, and I like to play. Like, I can play lead, but I hate rhythm on guitar, man.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I play bass, and that's normally a rhythm thing.
Yeah.
But I don't play rhythm bass. I play lead bass. Like give me some like.
Who was a lead guitarist for a band? They're pretty popular in the Southwest or Southeast. I mean, he was out of Greenville. Oh, I loved him. He played guitar so good. Anyway, he was offered to play rhythm for Saliva because they were on tour together, and he turned it down. I was like, dude, I'd have taken that. I guess he was like the front man too much. Couldn't fight with Uncle Wayne like for lead guitar. But I remember that. I was like, that's pretty freaking impressive, dude. You know. Even if with rhythm,
rhythm's a fucking it's a bitch, man. It really is. Because you literally just go through motions. That's all it is. You know, and with lead you can actually like even when I play bass, I can jam like Primus and Flea and all that shit, but I have to keep constantly going. I can't just be like do 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 do. You know, it's fucking it's mind numbing and stupid.
I imagine. But I mean, I'd always just wanted to learn how to play because I think it's cool. I think it's cool.
Hell yeah.
Play an instrument. I think that's pretty freaking cool, man.
Yeah, Jen's fucking. She's fucking weird, man. She can play like anything off of the top of her head, any instrument. Like
really?
Yeah, it was like probably about maybe 8 years ago or something. My uncle came over and my uncle Daniel, my aunt Julie came over and they brought a harp. She was like, yeah, I got me a harp. And Jim was like, yeah, let me see that thing. And then instantly, dude, she was playing like Somewhere Over the Rainbow, but with all the intricates in it, you know, ding, 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 you know, and I was like, dude,
yeah,
what the
girl,
fuck?
you got a good ear.
Yeah, she's got it down. And I had this my ex-fiance, she had a really good fucking idea, and I'll go ahead and spit it because I don't think anyone can come up with it. But a like a paint that has like a frequency learner. So if you're playing like a C note, it'll be blue. If you play like an A note, it'll be red.
Okay.
And so you could actually, you know, learn how to play while you're playing. I thought it was a cool invention, but
that's pretty cool.
I thought so too. But yeah, Jen's weird about that shit. She can play like Mozart and shit on a fucking Casio keyboard.
Crap, dude.
Yeah, dude, it's weird. I'm like, what do you?
2 hands or 1 hand?
2. Yeah, she'll just be,
I never could figure out the second hand. Yeah. I can play one-handed all day long, but I can't for whatever reason. Like my mind, like can't.
I'm not ambidextrous like that. Yeah, that shit weirds me out.
Not to brag, but I played flute in elementary school. I can do 2-finger. Like I know how to like get the. I just never took formal like piano lessons, which I always wanted to do. I just, you know, my 51 years couldn't swing it for whatever reason.
Right.
But, I mean, that's pretty sweet that she can just like pick shit up and start playing.
Yeah, it's weird, man. Yeah, I sat there. I was smoking devil's lettuce, and I was like, dude, you got this shit down, man. She's like, shut up, stupid.
That sounds like Jen, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I know we navigated away from it, and we are also into an hour and 18 minutes. I told you I wouldn't keep you past 10:30. I know you got work and shit, so I don't want to keep you past that. So, but let me pick you back to the movies and shit.
Okay.
What is your favorite protagonist? You know, and when I talk about that, I mean like Michael Myers, Jason, Freddy, you know, Chucky, whatever the fuck ever. But let me dig into your brain about that one and why.
So if we're talking like specific named characters,
yeah,
my favorite protagonist, because I like the Friday the 13th movies. I like the slow, methodical stalker slasher kind of thing, right? With Friday the 13th. Not as big of a fan of Michael Myers. That doesn't scare me as much.
Yeah. I'm not a Michael Myers fan. I mean,
Chucky, I'm just like punt that little bastard across the room with the
fuck yeah.
I've been attacked by
fuck out of here.
So Freddy Krueger is kind of freaky, right? Because we all got to sleep at some point. Like you will die without sleep. So, you know, if he's lurking in there, he'll get you. But the movies were kind of cheesy. Like the premise is scary, but the movies are a little
right.
right. So my favorite protagonist is an generalized werewolf. And if I had to like narrow it down, it would be Eddie the Mangler from the Howling.
That if I had to pick a werewolf, that would be yeah. Because the American Werewolf was cool in London, of course.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool, but whenever you saw his final fucking form, he was just a fucking dog.
Yeah, I mean, he was a big, scary looking dog. I don't want to see that dog on the moors or otherwise. But
right, but he was basically like a blue healer. Like,
walk with a jaw issue. Yeah,
but the Howling, man, and it had the same
they
bladder
are
effects.
antagonists. Yeah,
Yeah, it had the same bladder effects. It was cool as shit.
yeah. The
And
Howling is dear to my heart because one, those are some of the most realistic looking werewolves ever.
yeah,
And it was filmed like north of where I grew up, right? So
oh
all
no
that
shit.
forest, all those redwoods look mighty familiar to me. And when you throw in werewolves stomping around in there, I had to go to camp in those damn woods. I had to go to camp in those freaking woods thinking about werewolves the whole time. And I'm like, well, it was set here.
Dude, that's awesome.
So, yes, I would have to say specifically the werewolves from The Howling, because The Howling is probably always going to be like at the top of my favorite horror movie list. And there's all different genres, and typically, I like different movies depending on the genre. Like it's hard for me to narrow down, but if I had to pick just one, I love The Howling. I love The Howling.
You know what was fucking weird to me is because when they released The Howling, they didn't give it the picture that we all saw on the VHSs and stuff
With
on
the claws.
with the claws, right? Because they said that they didn't want it to be known as a werewolf movie originally.
What?
And it's like, dude, it's called The fucking Howling. Like,
Yeah, and they're all over the place. Like,
yeah. How are you gonna miss that shit? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, yeah. No, we don't want people to think it's a werewolf movie, but we'll call it The Howling.
Yeah, and we'll put werewolves at every turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, stupid.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, okay, so man, that movie is so awesome on so many levels. Like I love, right, the occult bookstore, because it reminds me of some bookstores like from my youth in San Francisco, right? Just
Okay.
the whole feel of it. And of course the werewolves, the scenery, right? The setting. Because it's so familiar to me, it freaks me out, right? And I'm just all of it, just the special effects were spot on. Like I said, those are the best werewolves that I've yet. I mean, I haven't seen any movies beat the werewolves from The Howling. Like Dog Soldiers were really good, right? Dog Soldiers were good, but you could see the latex when they bent certain ways sometimes, right? And it was really just like, the head pieces were freaking awesome, but the rest of it were obviously, dudes in kind of rubbery suits. Whereas The Howling, like it looks like legit, like werewolves.
Yeah, no,
Like werewolves.
it's completely Bible.
And they all have different like facial features. Like when they're surrounding the car, right? They're surrounding the police car at the end. There's like 5 or 6 of them around the car. They all look different. They all don't look the same. Whereas Dog Soldiers, they all look the same, like the same thing replicated. These things were like each one had a little bit of a different feature, just like a human would.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, The Howling all the way.
Did you ever see The Beast Within?
Probably at some point.
It's like it's kind of like where okay, so when The Howling and American Werewolf of London, they took the bladder effects, right?
Yeah.
Where it was like swell up. But if you remember it at all, it was like overstretched, like the dude's
Oh yeah.
face.
It was too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was yeah, see, so that's what I'm saying is like there's a point in all of it where it gets good to the good point and then fucking people over fucking do it, you know?
I know.
Like and it just becomes stupid and silly, you know.
Yeah, but I mean that little bladder puffiness, like okay, when he's transforming, it took him forever to freaking transform. I remember that. And I'm like, I imagine like breaking and rearranging your bones is not only quite painful, but time consuming. But I don't need a real time lapse of it happening, like bladder, 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 snout. Like, let's go.
Right.
But
Well, yeah.
aside from that, I think it's pretty good.
Well, that's the actual, that's where Michael Jackson got his whole thing for Thriller was from American Werewolf.
Oh, they won a bunch of awards for it. You know?
Oh, yeah.
And the guy who plays Eddie, like you would not recognize him today. Like he does not look.
There's man, there.
What you?
I'm glad you brought that up because there's so many of them. Because I do all these when they have the cult classic conventions out here in Bastrop. And I'll get you free ticket, like VIP tickets. You'll have to come down and hang out.
Yeah, my husband and my son, like they love go. They just went to Retro Expo. They love like all of that. Like we'll go to those things. It's so much fun,
dude. I'll get you VIP. We'll because on Saturday nights after the convention, we all go to the Hamilton Inn in Bastrop, and all the actors and actresses go out there.
Oh, sweet.
And it's booze and partying and
I'm there.
Dude, it's freaking awesome. Next thing you know, you're smoking a blunt with all the Killer Clowns from Outer Space guys.
That'd be awesome, man. That'd be so awesome.
Yeah, no, I'll hook you up for sure.
Sweet.
But yeah, like in all that, you know, it was weird how. Or not weird, but I think it's hilarious how the 80s horror genre, you know, as far as movies go, came into fruition of being everybody's favorite shit. You know, like if you talk to any 90s cats or whatever, none of them are really like, oh, I got this one or this one. You know, maybe Scream. Okay, Scream. But
Scream was
then again,
yeah.
But that's what you know. But that's Wes Craven. So you know that's you know Freddy Krueger as far as we're concerned. You know what I mean? I love the fact that it holds its own, especially when you start getting into different countries' versions of horror, especially in the 80s. So like if you go like to Italian horror, you know, like Dario Argento and
like
you know,
Deep Red. Yeah.
I
remember Deep Red. I remember the elevator scene in Deep Red where the necklace cuts their head off. I remember that very vividly.
Yeah. See, and that's the stuff that leaves the mark on you. You know, you're like, man, that's why I love 80s, you know, or you know, old school horror. Because, you know, if you really look at it, like before the Universal monsters, it was basically like giant bugs and shit like that, you know, like
well, it was
you know, and
atomic radiation, right? So everything's giant, right?
Because it's the 40s,
and the giant tarantulas, and then you've got things like in the 80s also, and I don't remember if this was, I think, a made-for-TV movie, but there was The Day the Animals Attacked, and there was Food of the Gods, right? Where nature is turning against, you know, everybody.
Humanity.
So it's interesting that you have the atomic age where everything is irradiated and blowing up, and then a generation later, you've got the age of nature attacks, right?
Yeah.
Quick new
Dude,
pass.
one of my favorites on that point was The Happening. You know, the M.
Yeah.
Night Shyamalan's.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the trees fighting back against.
Well, yeah. I mean,
But
just
it
first
was,
in general. Yeah. I like,
yeah,
a
but
lot
it's,
of people brag on M. Night Shyamalan. I really like him. I like him. He's got his place.
yeah, no, M. Night Shyamalan's got, he's got dude, the Visit, that was
Mhm.
creepy as shit, even though there wasn't really anything creepy about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because didn't he do that one?
Which one was that?
Knock on the Cabin Door.
Oh, yeah. With
Yeah.
Batista and
Yeah.
That was
that was
a
good.
good one.
I like The Lady in the Water. I thought that was a nice, like, little fantasy kind of horror-ish combo with Bryce Dallas, whatever her last name is, forget. Opie's daughter.
Yeah.
Bryce Dallas Howard. Yeah.
I forgot that's Ron Howard's kid. I forgot
Yeah.
that.
And I love all the actors in it. Like, I like her. I genuinely like her. And I like, God, I'm blanking on his name. He played in Sideways. He was the groundskeeper. He was the building manager.
Groundskeeper Willie.
All right. Stay away, you children's.
I got the
Get out
shinning.
of my Vegas.
All right, well, we got to the hour and a half mark, and I don't want to keep you up, but I'm gonna bug your brain on, how I do with the horror trivia.
Yeah. Oh God, I hope I know this one.
And this goes for the chat too. If y'all got it, I'm not at the point where I can give y'all free shirts and shit or anything like that, but I will give you.
Hang with us in New Orleans in January. How does that sound?
Yeah, hell yeah.
For Monica's birthday, it's a big mass party. Everybody show up in New Orleans. I'll tell you the date, but just plan on New Orleans in January sometime.
Yeah, if you win it, just remind me, and I'll buy you the biggest freaking drink at the bar.
Paul Giamatti, that's his name. Thank you, Ristol. The actor I couldn't remember the name of.
All right, that one's easy. I'll spit it anyway. What is the name of the horror film magazine that debuted in that debuted in 1979 and is returning to print in 2018? It's a magazine, folks. All
it's a horror
dedicated
magazine.
Horror.
God, I don't even know. Is it like a comic or a magazine?
Magazine. I got them here.
I really don't know. I mean, I want to say, like, I didn't really collect the horror magazines. I see the covers, but I can't remember their names.
It was. I'll give y'all 10. Yeah. Josh Castro got it.
Oh, it was Gloria. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That was a good
All right. No, that's gay. And when I say gay, I don't mean homosexual. I mean it's gay. This was actually kind of good. Who is the director in the 1982 movie Creepshow?
Ding, 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 ding. I don't know. Let me Google it. I really don't know.
You can't Google. It's against the law.
It's against the law.
I actually, because there's multiple screen tellers, so I don't know exactly which one it was. So I'm in the room with y'all. I want to say it's either
Romero
or
I would not have guessed that.
Or what's the other dude's name? He's an up and coming dude back in the 90s.
Well, there was.
I forgot his name. Yep, well, Romero.
Yeah.
So you win it. So I owe you the biggest drink you can drink.
That would be a hand grenade, and then somebody's going to have to like throw me over their shoulder and take me on the road.
That's cool. You look like you weigh like 110 pounds and you're like 25, so I got you.
Woohoo! None of that is correct.
All right, last one for the night.
Okay.
And this is actually, I know this one off the top of my nugget. In what horror movie do we see Kevin Bacon impaled in his throat with an arrow?
Ooh, that's one of the Friday the 13th. And I want to say is it 2? No, it's not. It's not. It's part 3, isn't it?
It's part 1.
Part 1? Really?
That was his first acting debut. Yeah.
Why was I thinking it was one of the sequels? Okay, well, I know it was one of the Friday the 13th. I got it kind of right.
So I owe Josh Casto and Monica some drinks when we go to New Orleans and kick it and have a blast.
That's right.
And we're going to do it for like a couple days, right? We're not just going to like,
I'm not driving all that way just for a freaking night. No, it's going to be like a 3-night tour. Like the SS Minute. It's a 3-day tour. Or a 3-hour tour. 3-hour tour, but we're making it a 3-day tour.
Yeah, 3-day tour. 3 24-hour tour.
3 24-hour tours.
Yeah,
consecutively.
Absolutely. But yeah, I absolutely thank you and appreciate you for coming on tonight.
Thank you. This was a lot of fun.
And yeah, oh dude, I have a blast with you every time we do something. You know, on PRT, every time we kick it on your channel. Also, go check out Monica's channel. It's Our Paranormal World. Yeah. Tune in. She's awesome at what she does.
Thank you.
And you will not be disappointed. She's it's still a fresh channel, but she's gaining tremendous groundwork. I mean, like I had like 9 to 11 people tops on here. And this is like my 30th show or something. She's got like 120 something. And I love it.
Somebody said that the other night. Oh, I was on Rob's show. Rob said, "Oh, Monica, you're doing pretty good, you know, for it being a like brand spanking new channel, like on YouTube. You've got like over 100 subscribers or something like that." And somebody in the chat was like, "Yeah, it must be nice if you're using Texas Front Porch's platform to like support it."
Oh, fuck that.
That's what I said. I was like, "Yeah, it's good to have friends, isn't it?"
Yeah, no shit. See, I would have been more classy and being like, "Yeah, because you're a chick."
I guess.
Because no one wants to tune into a dude's ugly face, but a chick is hot. So
you gotta get Jen to like pose for your thumbnails for YouTube.
I have her on one, and she was like, "Take my face off of it. You just want." She's like, "You just want a hot chick," or not, she didn't say hot chick, but she was like, "You just want a chick to be on there," and I'm like, "Yeah, because chicks bring in nerdy dudes. It is what it is."
Yeah, but yeah, it draws people in. Like that's a fact. You talk to any creator on YouTube, like you put a picture of a pretty mountain range, or you put a picture of a hot chick standing in front of the mountain range, and guess which one gets more.
Right. Yeah, if it wasn't YouTube's, if I put boobs on my little thing over on the side, yeah, I mean, people would be like, "Bro,
to get the attention of the masses, man. Like we're all out here struggling to swim. You just grab any life, grab anything you can."
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I truly appreciate it. I appreciate the chat, all of y'all. You know, it's nice to just have. I don't care if 10 people are watching or 10,000 people are watching. That's not my goal. I'm not a YouTube what do you call it, creator or any shit like that.
I think you are. I think you are a content creator, sir.
I just love doing the
act of creating content.
Well, yeah, technically, but I just love doing what I do. And you know, I did music for a long time, and like I was telling Jen earlier, because there's this whole war going on, and part of it kind of encompassed me, and people hit me up about it.
Oh, really?
Like yeah, like I was choosing sides and shit. And And I told, I told her the same way I tell everybody. It's like, back when I was doing music and doing concerts and stuff, I didn't give a shit if there were 300 people at my show or 3 people at my show.
Right.
And I also told her, because, I open up for big names at times, and I'm like, they're not here to see me. They're here to see this group, right? So the main group that's going on, they're here to see them, not me. So it's the same kind of concept as the YouTube shit is they're not here to see Joe Breezy or Monica or Barton or Josh Turner or anybody. They want the content. They want the spooky shit or the cryptid shit or whatever it is. And you're just the deliverer.
Yeah.
You're
here to deliver a good time, right? And that's what, I was telling Tex. I was like, because I wasn't going to, none of this was really like something that I was even thinking, like it wasn't even in my mind at all. And Tex and Brandy had approached me because, I would talk to them a lot or I'd be in their chat talking. And Tex was like, a lot of people, they really respond well to your interviews when you're on the show. I think that you should start your own channel. What do you think about that? Starting your own podcast. And I said, I've done podcasts in the past, more than one. I've done a lot of podcasts in the past. And I just don't feel like I've got the kind of mind for a podcast, because if I have guests on, they're more than likely somebody I know, like personally, or somebody that I've known for a long time even. And I don't think to ask the questions that people who don't know these people would want asked. Right. I'm just shooting it with my buddy.
Right.
And back then when I was doing these podcasts, like nobody cared. They just wanted content, right? They just want stories. They want spooky Bigfoot stories, or they want UFO stories. They want to hear the latest blah, blah, blah. And I was telling Tex, like, it turned me off of it. I just don't know how I feel about that. And he said, well, give it a try. You can talk about whatever you want. You can, whatever. So that's what got me kind of going in it, is Tex encouraging me to just try it one more time. Because, things have changed since the last time I did a podcast. It's, it not quite 10 years, probably been like 7 or 8 years since I'd done one. And a lot had changed. And these formats are completely different than what I used to do. And my favorite, that's why I don't get a lot of guests on my show, because my favorite thing is like what you and I just did, right? Where we just have a fun conversation and it goes where it goes. And, we'll talk about spooky shit or paranormal shit, or we'll talk about, why I don't like organized religion or, whatever it is. And those are the most fun for me. And I want people listening to me and subscribing to me that feel the same way. They don't want the stiff, rigid, you got to have this person on. You got to talk about this topic. It's going to feel like a conversation, like we're two friends sitting at a bar having a convo, and you're kind of listening across the bar at us talking, with the ability to, if you're in the chat, you have the ability to chime in and, maybe ask a question and we can answer it for you in the middle of our conversation. That's the kind of vibe that I want to give. Yeah. And I, had it in my head that I had to have this real stiff, real regimen. I got to do this and I've got to talk about that and we've got to cover this. It made me really nervous at first. And now I'm like, screw it. I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about, and people like it or they don't. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree with you wholeheartedly. We should like make a bond to where every time I'm on your show or you're on mine, we'll just call it just shooting the shit. Just shooting the shit with Monica. Yeah, just shooting the shit with Monica and just shooting the shit with Breezy.
Yeah. I think I'm pretty easy to talk to. Like, somebody that I don't necessarily know that well, I can usually make them feel at ease and, have a nice conversation with them, because I can relate to people, and I try to relate to people on their own personal level. Like, tell me something about yourself and I will find a way to relate to you. Just talk. Let's just talk. You know, because I remember seeing Joe at the conference and he was cool. I mean, you look cool. I didn't know you from Adam, you know, and I was like, that dude looks really cool. I would love to talk to him because I bet he's got some stories, man. He's got some life stories. I mean, anybody with tattoos coming down, he had the silver, you had your silver eyes in, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's fucking sweet. He was there with his son, like the whole family. I was like, hell yeah. I love that. And then, you know, Josh invites me on this show that he's starting, and who pops up but Joe? I was like, sweet, I get to know that guy.
Dope.
And then, you know, it turns out that, you know, we think a lot alike and we get along really well. And I just, you know, it's, you know, as you guys know, you're listening to a show. It's just fun talking to Breezy.
Yeah, no, we have a good energy about it. And, you know, and I think it's a big commonality about how, you know, relaxed, easygoing individuals, especially from the same age area, you know, even though you look 20 years younger than me.
I think we look similar in age. I think we do. Because you look young, Joe. I think you look young.
Really? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's crazy. I would never have guessed. But yeah, because I don't know. I just have a self complex about myself. But yeah, I think we all do. But it's just like the same as back in the day. Not to get graphic, but when you're a kid, there's a lot of things that you do that you don't think other people do, and everyone makes fun of it for like
being a kid.
Yeah. And you're like, and then you grow up and you find out that everybody did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so liberating. The older I get, the more I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I do not care. And, you know, it doesn't help with my, like I'm so self-conscious of, because I'm a vain bitch at the end of the day, like any other woman. Like, I want to look really good. And then my big old bobblehead is like right on the screen. I'm like,
you don't have a bobblehead.
That's what it feels like.
No, it's the same way. Like, I'm like, every time I hate this freaking camera because it points down on me. It looks like I got like a freaking giant forehead.
That's what I feel like. That's why I was wearing ball caps for the longest time. I'm like, let's cover that movie screen up, yo.
Right.
No, your ad here.
I'm gonna send you one of these gas station hats.
Oh, sweet.
You can, I got a few of them. I'll send them to you.
Awesome, thank you.
But as soon as you send me your address, you know, you're gonna wind up seeing me like on the front porch going, "Hey, how you doing?
Come here.
I got a bag of margaritas. Let's hang out."
No, be like, bring your guitar.
Yeah.
Like, we'll sit out on the back deck and let the mosquitoes carry us off.
Dude, if mosquitoes were the size of pigeons, we'd all be fucked.
I'm telling you, like, they're getting close. Like, they're ganging up. They're like roving marauders here, like just hordes. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, I went out to go plant some plants that I bought over the weekend. Plant some plants. And man, I was thinking, okay, it's later in the afternoon. I'd gotten home from work. It's hot as hell, right? The sun's still kind of shining. I'm like, mosquitoes usually don't attack me in full broad daylight because it's hot as shit, right? Hell no. I'm sitting here scratching bites all over my ankles and my legs. I hope I don't get freaking Zika virus or West Nile virus. I'm more concerned about West Nile virus. I don't want that. So,
well, if you get the West Nile, then all you got to do is go get stung by a bee and you'll be straight.
Oh, really?
I was watching Mr. Ballin. You know what I'm talking about?
I love Mr. Ballin.
Yeah. And he was talking about this lady that got West Nile and she had it for like 20 years. And she was like, it was like taking her down hardcore. And she went outside and a bumblebee stung her, or a honeybee. And all of a sudden, all symptoms gone and she was straight. You know,
Dude,
and
I
I was
will go
like,
do jumping jacks in a freaking apiary field like I will. If I get West Nile, I will do whatever I can to get rid of that.
right? No shit. But
So,
yeah, I don't want to keep you up. I know you got work early as shit in the morning. I mean, if you're down to hang out, but I know it's late for you. But yeah, man, I really appreciate you coming out and hanging out with me on the show. I was gonna go on either way, and I just fucking hate going solo. I'm
man,
not
if you ever need me, just hit me up. If I'm free, I'll be like, hell yeah, I'll be there. I got you.
okay.
I got your back. If you just
Right
don't want
on,
to
and
fly solo, you just hit me up. Like I said, if I'm anywhere near my computer, I'll go.
and yeah, same. If you ever like, you got a guest that drops out, or you just like, hey, Breezy, I feel like going on tonight. I got your back, straight up, 100.
Sweet. We got each other's backs. There we go.
Yeah. Said I got a backyard full of bees if anyone needs. We don't need it now, but we might.
We might. I might.
Yep.
He doesn't have any. He doesn't have any mosquitoes at his house. No mosquitoes.
No, not right now. And
got,
yeah, Mickey G.
cloud.
Right. And Mickey G said, I told you the same, Breezy. Yeah, absolutely. Mickey G, anytime you want to come on, you know,
sweet.
let me know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she's great. She was on, I was like dying on a show, like just literally sitting there talking about nonsense, and she popped in and dug me up from the grave. You know? Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, Joe, I'm gonna let you go
All right.
because I do have to go like lay my head down so I can sleep a little bit before.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Well, if you want to tell the chats and the people, all the 9 people watching anything, this is your time.
Here we go. So come check out my channel on YouTube. It is Our Paranormal World. But if you type that in the search bar, you're probably going to get a few hits. So mine is the one with the blue globe with the headphones on. And if you type in at Monica's Paranormal World, just MONICAS Paranormal World, it'll take you right to my channel. So come check me out. There's only one video up there right now, but that's going to change. You can also hit me up on Facebook at Our Paranormal World and Instagram at Our Para World. So,
and I'm on that one video.
He is. He was my first guest. He was my first guest. So, I mean, you get a double dose. You got me tonight, and then you can go check out my channel and get me and Breezy again from the past. There you go.
The good old DP.
There we are. So thanks, everybody. Thank you, Joe. I really appreciate you having me come on.
I appreciate you more than anything. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You have a good night.
Good night, Monica. All right. Well, I guess that wraps it up. I mean, unless, no, I got it. Yeah. I mean, unless anyone else wants to jump on. But other than that, we're going to be doing some cool content. I want to get into this old school 80s freaking horror movie thing because everyone loves it. Everyone has a good time with it. And it's something we all know. But as for now, I guess it's good night and salutations. God bless every one of y'all. Thank you for joining in. Keep searching for the truth because it is out there. And if we don't find it in life, we'll find it later on. Peace. Yeah.